The Inquisitors are a group of Force-sensitive Jedi hunters that were tasked with tracking down and annihilating all Jedi that managed to escape the execution of Order 66. Answering only to Darth Sidious and his apprentice Darth Vader, the Inquisitors had a great deal of command over the Empire's forces and were given any and all resources required to complete their murderous task. There are 10 Inquisitors that we know about for certain, so in today's video we're going to talk a little about each of them. Oh, and by the way, while the majority of the Inquisitors are numbered, this is in no way related to their rank. They were all equal, with the exception of the Grand Inquisitor. So with that being said, let's jump on into the list. We're going to start with the Grand Inquisitor. This Paran used to be part of the Jedi Temple Guard and was even present at the trial of Ahsoka Tano after she was accused of bombing the temple. He had an inherent lust for power and knowledge, leading him to become disenchanted with the Jedi Order and a prime candidate to be groomed and eventually turned to the dark side by Darth Sidious himself. During the Dark Times, the Grand Inquisitor mercilessly hunted down and killed many Jedi, and even came close to apprehending Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. Due to the high value of this particular target, the third sister betrayed and seemingly killed the Grand Inquisitor, wanting to take the glory for herself. He ultimately survived his injuries and continued leading the group. Several years later, the Grand Inquisitor was put in charge of hunting a rebel cell on the planet Lothal. During a confrontation with fugitive Jedi Knight Kanan Jarrus and his Padawan Ezra Bridger, the Grand Inquisitor was bested by the pair, but he elected to kill himself, knowing that failure to eliminate the Jedi would be a far worse option for him. After all, Darth Vader is not known for his forgiving nature. After his death, the role of Grand Inquisitor was never filled, and the increasingly redundant Inquisitorius was allowed to fade out over the following few years. Cool, calm, collected, rational and cunning, the Grand Inquisitor really was a good choice to lead this Jedi hunting death squad. Next up is the second sister. She was a vicious yet ambitious human female who was desperate to win the recognition of the Emperor himself. She was once a Jedi Padawan named Trilla Suduri. However, she and her master, Siri Junda, were captured and tortured, with Trilla being corrupted to become a tool of evil after Junda made her escape. The second sister's most notable mission was tracking Jedi Cal Kestis to the scrapyard world of Bracca. He evaded her, however the second sister remained hot on his trail, chasing him across the galaxy in an attempt to both kill the Jedi and take the holocron that he was in possession of. What the second sister didn't know is that while on the run, Kestis was receiving help from Trilla's old master, Siri Junda. Once the second sister discovered this, she struggled to keep her hatred towards her master for abandoning her in check. Kestis, Junda and the second sister all came face to face in a climatic duel on the watery world of Nur. The second sister was bested, and her former master begged for her forgiveness and to allow them to escape. The good within the second sister eventually won, and she let go of her hate and allowed the pair of Jedi to run and get the holocron to safety. This was a final act of goodness though, as Darth Vader arrived at the scene and brutally cut her down for her failure. Moving on to the third sister, and this was another human female that shared many similarities with the second sister. Originally called Reva, she was a young Jedi Padawan on the night of Order 66 and witnessed the butchering of her Order firsthand. Her need for power and recognition often saw her butting heads with other Inquisitors. While hunting other Jedi, she had an unhealthy obsession with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Despite being warned by the Grand Inquisitor himself that her hate for Kenobi was causing her to be unfocused and reckless, she remained committed to seeking out and killing the evasive Jedi. It was this dedication to her own task that caused her to betray and cut down the Grand Inquisitor, seemingly leaving him for dead. Tracking Kenobi to the planet Jabin, the third sister finally came face to face with the old Jedi Master and reluctantly revealed to him that she wanted revenge on Vader for what he did to her friends on the night of Order 66. She faced Vader, intended to kill him and take revenge. However, he sensed the betrayal and easily defeated her, leaving her for dead. This is not where her story ends though, as the third sister survived and tracked Vader's son to Tatooine. She planned to kill the young boy, however when the time came for her to deliver a killing blow, she stopped, recognizing how she had become just like the person she wanted revenge on. Recognizing the error of her ways, the third sister downed her lightsaber, let the boy live and disappeared off into the sands of Tatooine. Up next is the fourth sister. Not too much is known about this Inquisitor, only that she was part of the hunt for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Taking a more backseat role, the fourth sister was happy to delegate work to the third sister and the Imperial forces. She participated in the interrogation of a town on Mapuzo where Kenobi and a sect of rebels were hiding, and stood looking bored as Darth Vader violently murdered civilians in order to draw his old master out. While it's unknown how the fourth sister met her end, it is known that her armor ended up in the possession of the Rebel Alliance commander, Lena Graf, and was used to impersonate the Inquisitor and infiltrate Fortress Vader on Mustafar. Next comes the fifth brother, a grey-skinned humanoid male. When it came to hunting Jedi, he could be reserved and quiet one moment and bullishly violent the next. Both methods worked well. The fifth brother has a strong dislike of the third sister and found her to be beneath the rest of them. He revelled in being able to chastise her and put her in her place every now and then, and when Darth Vader came to punish her, he barely held back a snarling smile as he watched her panic. After the Inquisitorius were unable to apprehend Obi-Wan Kenobi, the fifth brother and seventh sister were sent to assist the Grand Inquisitor in dealing with the rebel cell on Lothal, as there were reports that there were Jedi amongst them. The fifth brother spent many years tracking and engaging with rebels and Jedi, and it all came to a head on the dark world of Malachor, where he and several other Inquisitors faced off against Jedis, Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger, ex-Jedi Ahsoka Tano, and ex-Sith Lord Maul. The fifth brother was undeniably strong, powerful, and used his unending brute force to put up a good fight. However, he was still ultimately slain by the blade of Maul. Now for the sixth brother, a human male once known as Bill Valen. While not one of the most prominent Inquisitors, the sixth brother accompanied Darth Vader to the world of Mon Cala to help search for a rumoured Jedi. After a lengthy battle with the locals, the sixth brother, a couple of other Inquisitors, and their Imperial forces managed to track the Jedi down. The Jedi knew that a lot of Imperial troops were still made up of clones, and had a trick up his sleeve, initiating Order 66. The troops turned their guns on the Inquisitors and the Jedi escaped. The sixth brother cut off the ninth sister's leg and left her for dead at the hands of the revolting troops in order to make his own escape. The sixth brother's next mission was to track down Force-sensitive children. While attempting to complete this task on the outer rim world of Thebeska, he encountered ex-Jedi Ahsoka Tano. She quickly became his priority, and he mercilessly hunted her, savagely killing many innocent civilians in order to draw Ahsoka to him. The plan worked, and the sixth brother came face to face with his quarry. Despite not being in the possession of any weapons, Ahsoka put up a good fight, but the sixth brother was cunning and fast, able to counter many of her force-based attacks. Unfortunately, he wasn't aware that Ahsoka had removed the kyber crystals from his lightsaber, and when the sixth brother tried to activate the blades, his weapon exploded in his face, instantly killing him. Up next is the seventh sister. She was a Maryland female that worked tirelessly and ultimately fruitlessly to replace the Grand Inquisitor after his untimely death. Often posted on missions alongside the fifth brother, the pair were tasked with hunting Force-sensitive children, which they successfully did until they encountered the Lothal rebel cell. This cell were becoming a thorn in the side of the Empire, and the seventh sister was commanded to help put an end to them. She faced the rebels several times, more often than not winning the confrontation. The rebels were slippery though, and just managed to escape each time, much to the seventh sister's chagrin. She found herself in front of Darth Vader himself, chastised and threatened with death if she did not complete her task. This certainly put a renewed vigour in her step. The seventh sister and fifth brother tracked the Lothal rebel cell to Malachor, where they encountered two Jedi, one ex-Jedi and an ex-Sith Lord. The seventh sister confronted Maul, taunting him and goading him into a fight. She was no match for Maul though, and he grabbed her with a force choke and lifted her body up, commanding his potential apprentice Ezra Bridger to strike her down. When Bridger ultimately refused, Maul did the job himself, slicing the seventh sister in half and dropping her lifeless torso to the ground. This brings us to the eighth brother, a male Terralian Django jumper. Not too much is known about him, only that he received direct orders to track down Maul, or the Shadow as he was then referred to. After several years of searching and tracking, the eighth brother tracked Maul to the ancient Sith world of Malachor. What he did not anticipate was that he would also find the rebel cell that the seventh sister and fifth brother were hunting. After tracking the group for a short while, he attacked them, before quickly being joined by two of the other Inquisitors. The group was split mid-battle, yet the eighth masked brother fought bravely, with a laser focus on completing his mission and killing Maul. However, witnessing the fifth brother's death at the hands of his target, the eighth brother attempted to make his escape and regroup. Unfortunately, in doing so, fell to his death. One of the biggest and burliest members of the Inquisitorius, the ninth sister, is a female Daryutin that once used to be known as Massena Tide. Taken after Order 66 and tortured until she fell to the dark side, the ninth sister once accompanied Darth Vader on a solo mission to hunt down a suspected Jedi. She was instructed to wait outside a cantina and not come in unless Vader instructed, much to her annoyance. Once inside, Vader was attacked and needed assistance. However, the ninth sister ignored his call and blamed it on a damaged communicator. She was also present at the attack on Mon Cala, where the sixth brother cut off her leg. She vowed to get revenge. However, she never got the chance as he was killed by Ahsoka Tano, as we discussed earlier in the video. Several years later, and now with a cybernetic leg, the ninth sister joined the second sister in the hunt for the fugitive Jedi, Cal Kestis. The ninth sister finally got to face the Jedi high up in the treetops on the forest world of Kashyyyk. While her brute strength and size gave her some clear advantages over Kestis, he eventually got lucky, slicing her hand off. It wasn't enough to end the battle though, and in a rage she charged at him. Kestis flipped over the ninth sister and she fell through the branches and down to her ultimate death. And now we come to the final confirmed Inquisitor, the 10th brother. Once known as Prosit Dibs, he was a Mariluka male who served alongside Jedi Master Mace Windu. With his faith in the Jedi already wavering, Dibs fell to the dark side and was soon identified as a potential Inquisitor by Darth Sidious. The 10th brother was the final Inquisitor to travel to Mon Cala, but unlike the 6th brother and 9th sister, he did not survive the attack as his troops turned on them. Taken by surprise, and being the closest Inquisitors to the troop, he took multiple blasts to the body and fell before he could even process what was happening and put up much of a fight. The 10th brother was one of the most mysterious members of the Inquisitorius, and a member that survived for the shortest time, surviving only a year after the events of Order 66. There were several other reported Inquisitors, a black-skinned Twi'lek male for example, and a red-skinned female of an unknown species, but they haven't got names or numbers so far in current canon, so we're not going to count those here. So there you have it, the list of all the Inquisitors that we know about so far. Which one's your favourite? Let us know in the comments section down below. Also, giving this video a like would be really appreciated, as it shows that you like what we do. And until next time, may the Force be with you.